Hi everyone, now we're going to discuss about rate of change. If y equals to fx means y in terms of x. Then when we differentiate y with respect to x is the meaning of the changes of y with respect to x. So look at the derivative form here. So actually dx dy means the changes of y with respect to x. So when we say the rate of change of a quantity, then it will be refer the changes of the quantity with respect to time. So rate here is referring to the time, where the time symbol used will use t. So for example, when we say the rate of change of quantity q, it will be written as dq dt. And this means that the changes of q with respect to time. So when we do for the changes, the rate of the changes, we have to be careful in calculation. When the rate of change increase is supposed to be in positive sign. If the rate of change decrease is supposed to have negative sign. So depends on the situation. And the rate of change of a quantity can be obtained using chain rule. Let's say we want to find dy dt. How to obtain this dy dt? We will start with the quantity y ending respect to t. So we can notice that x here will be the chain rule. So this is the x variable to change to change the y to the variable t. So chain rules dy dx times dx dt. Sometimes it will be using more variable. Let's say dA, dB. Then it can continue change to dB, dc. It can continue dc, dt. So lastly, only respect to t. So these are also our chain rule. Then we go for strategy for solving related problem. The first one. So when we read the questions, we have to identify the information given here. What is your variables? What is changing? So the changing is your variables. And then what is the shape going on? So from the information, we identify what is your changing variable. So if you have changes of y respect to x, means your variable will be y and x. If you have your changes of q respect to time, then your variable will be quantity q and time t. So then identify the constant variable, then the rate of change of the quantity that question will ask. So they will ask usually rate of change of a quantity. So means that quantity dq dt. So it's going to find. So first step is understand the questions, identify the information variables and shape. So second steps, when we look at the question that we want, we try to form out the chain rule regarding the derivative form that we want to find and or the derivative the question asked here. So from the chain rule, then we move on to third step. We find for the equation needs. So try to find the equation or we use the formula in a single variable. So sometimes the equation in the term of variable as it needed in chain rule, we have to combine. Sometimes we need two equation combine it to become one single equation. Then after we get the equation, we will differentiate respect to the quantity that we want in the chain rule. Let's say if we chain rule here, we need dy dx, so we will differentiate y respect to x. So our equation of course will be y in terms of x. So this is the step 3, finding equation. Then we differentiate. Then after we finding all these derivative here, lastly, step 4, we're going to substitute all the differential equation into chain rule to find out the answer, together with the constant variable that we identify in the beginning of the questions.